The wheelchair gleamed under the chandelier's cold light, but the man sitting in it looked like a corpse. Wu Jin's hands, once capable of breaking bones with a single command, now trembled as they gripped the armrests. His wife's perfume still lingered in the hallway, a ghost of the woman who'd walked out 3 hours ago without looking back. She said, "I'm not a man anymore," he whispered to the empty mansion. But someone was listening. Lena stood in the doorway of the master bedroom, her dark fingers clutching a fresh set of linens. She'd been invisible for 6 months, just another hired hand in a house built on blood and power. But tonight, as Wu Jin's shoulders shook with silent sobs, she made a choice that would change everything. She didn't leave. Before we dive into this powerful story of unexpected love and redemption, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you believe everyone deserves a second chance at love, drop a comment telling me what true love means to you, and subscribe so you never miss these emotional journeys. Now, let's begin. 3 months earlier, Wu Jin stood at the floor-to-ceiling window of his penthouse office, the Seoul skyline bowing before him like subjects before a king. His tailored suit cost more than most people earned in a year. His phone buzzed with messages from politicians, CEOs, men who feared and needed him in equal measure. "The shipment arrives at dawn," his right-hand man said. "The Russians are getting nervous." Wu Jin didn't turn. Let them be nervous. Fear keeps people honest. At home, his wife, Mei Lin, draped herself across the marble kitchen island, scrolling through photos of their last vacation in Monaco. She kissed him when he entered, tasting of champagne and expensive lies. "I'm pregnant," she said, smiling. Wu Jin's heart stopped. For the first time in years, something softened in his chest. Across the city, in a cramped apartment that smelled of mildew and yesterday's rice, Lena counted the bills, on her mattress for the 3rd time. Still $40 short for her mother's medication. Her nursing degree from Nigeria meant nothing here, just another immigrant cleaning rich people's toilets. Her phone rang. The agency. "We have a position, live-in maid for a businessman. The pay is triple your current rate, but..." The agent paused. "The family has a reputation, and they need someone who can handle medical care." Lena closed her eyes. Her mother's labored breathing echoed from the next room. "I'll take it." 2 weeks later, the accident. The explosion tore through Wu Jin's car like the hand of God. Metal twisted, glass shattered, and when he woke in the hospital, his legs were gone below the knee. The baby Mei Lin carried? A lie. A manipulation to secure her position before the lawyers could finalize the prenup. She visited once. Stood at the foot of his bed, her face a mask of disgust. "I married a king, not a cripple." The divorce papers arrived before he left the hospital. Lena arrived at the mansion on a Tuesday. The house manager, an older woman with tired eyes, led her through halls that echoed with absence. "He doesn't speak much anymore. Doesn't eat. The physical therapist quit last week, said he threatened to kill him." She paused at the master bedroom door. "If you're smart, you'll just do your job and stay invisible." But when Lena saw Wu Jin for the first time, slumped in that wheelchair staring at nothing, a gun resting on his lap, she didn't see a monster. She saw her father after the war, after the men came. She saw someone who'd forgotten how to be human. The gun was a 9mm Beretta. Lena recognized it from the checkpoints back home. "You can leave the tray by the door," Wu Jin said without looking up. His voice was rust and broken glass. Lena set down the food. Didn't leave. "I said, I heard you." She stepped closer. The room reeked of unwashed sheets and despair. "When did you last eat?" His head turned slowly like a predator noticing prey for the first time. His eyes were hollow caves. "Who the hell are you?" "Lena, your new maid, and nurse, apparently." "I didn't ask for a nurse." "You need one." She pulled back the curtains. Sunlight invaded the tomb, Wu Jin flinched like a vampire. When did you last shower? His jaw clenched. Get out. No. The word hung in the air like a slap. No one said no to Wu Jin, not in 20 years. His hand moved toward the gun. Lena's hand moved faster, covering his, her skin dark and warm against his pale, cold fingers. I know what you're thinking, she said softly. I've thought it too. After I lost everything. After I watched my sister die because we couldn't afford the medicine. After I scrubbed floors at 3 a.m. wondering if God had forgotten my name. Wu Jin's breath hitched. But you know what I learned? She squeezed his hand. Pain doesn't make you weak. Giving up does. For the first time in 3 months, Wu Jin truly looked, at another human being. Her eyes were deep brown, flecked with gold. They held no pity, no fear, just presence. You don't know anything about me, he whispered. I know you're still breathing. That's enough to start. She released his hand, picked up the gun with casual efficiency, and emptied the chamber. The bullets clinked into her apron pocket like loose change. I'll bring fresh sheets and soup. Real soup. Not whatever garbage the kitchen staff has been sending up. She paused at the door. My mother used to say, the body heals when the heart remembers it wants to live. Your mother sounds like a fool. Lena smiled, sad knowing. She was, but she was a fool who survived a civil war, human trafficking, and stage 3 cancer. So maybe there's wisdom in foolishness. After she left, Wu Jin stared at his hand. It still tingled where she'd touched it. For the first time since the explosion, he felt something other than rage. He felt curious. Have you ever met someone who saw the real you when everyone else only saw your circumstances? Drop your story in the comments below. Wu Jin made it his mission to break her. The soup tastes like dishwater. Lena nodded. I'll add more seasoning tomorrow. The room is too bright. She dimmed the lights without argument. You're touching me wrong during the transfers. Are you even qualified? I have a nursing degree from Lagos University, but if you'd prefer someone else... I didn't say that. Every day the same dance. He pushed. She absorbed. He lashed out. She remained steady. His associates came once. 3 men in expensive suits who reeked of cologne and violence. They spoke in hushed Korean in the study, casting glances at Wu Jin's wheelchair like it was a coffin. Lena brought tea. Set it down silently. Who's the help? One man asked in English, dismissive. Before Wu Jin could respond, Lena straightened. Someone who understands that value isn't measured by what you've lost, but by what you choose to do with what remains. The room fell silent. After they left, Wu Jin cornered her in the hallway. Don't ever speak to my people like that again. They're not your people. They're vultures waiting for you to die so they can pick the bones of your empire. You don't know. I know men like that. I've cleaned their offices, served them drinks while they discussed which girls to traffic next. Her voice was ice. Don't mistake my kindness for ignorance, Wu Jin. I've seen evil. You're not it. You're just hurt. He wanted to scream, to throw something, to hurt her the way everyone had hurt him. Instead, he laughed, bitter, broken. You think you can save me, fix me? I'm not some charity case for you to feel good about. I'm not trying to save you. Lena met his eyes. I'm just refusing to watch you destroy yourself. Why? The question ripped out of him. Why do you care? She was quiet for a long moment. Because someone cared for me once, when I had nothing, when I was nothing, when a stranger in a hospital in Lagos gave me $20 and said, your life has value. I never forgot that. I'm not worth $20. No, Lena agreed. You're worth showing up for anyway. That night, Wu Jin didn't ask for the gun back. He let Lena help him into clean clothes, let her change the sheets, let her existence invade the fortress of his isolation. And when she left, he realized the room felt emptier than before. He hated it. He hated that he needed it. He hated that for the first time since Maylin left, he was afraid of something other than living. He was afraid Lena would leave too. The storm came on a Friday. Not the weather, though Seoul's sky did crack open with rain that pounded the mansion's windows like fists. The real storm was the phone call. "Sir, there's been a situation." His accountant's voice trembled. "Your wife. She's filed an injunction. She's claiming you're mentally unfit to manage your assets. She wants conservatorship." Woo Jin's blood turned to ice. "On what grounds?" "She has medical testimony. Psychiatrist report stating you're suicidal, unstable. She's petitioning for an evaluation. If the court agrees..." He could lose everything: the business, the house, his identity. Woo Jin hung up and hurled the phone across the room. It shattered against the wall. Lena appeared in the doorway holding a towel. "The leak in the West Wing is getting worse, and you just broke your phone." "Get out!" "The roads are flooded. I literally can't leave. We're stuck here until morning." She approached slowly like he was a wounded animal. "What happened?" "Nothing that concerns you." Woo Jin... "I said get out!" His roar echoed through the empty mansion. Lena didn't flinch. Instead, she sat down on the floor in front of his wheelchair, cross-legged, patient. "What are you doing?" he demanded. "Waiting." "For what?" "For you to stop yelling and start talking." The absurdity of it cracked something inside him. This woman, this stranger, sitting on his Italian marble floor in her uniform, looking up at him like he was worth listening to. "She's trying to take everything," he whispered. "My ex-wife? She's claiming I'm incompetent because of..." He gestured vaguely at his legs, at his wheelchair, at the wreckage of his life. Lena's expression hardened. "Can she do that?" "If the court orders a psychological evaluation and they find me unfit, yes. Then we make sure they don't find you unfit." "We?" She stood suddenly all business. "You need to be seen in public, functioning, competent. How long until the hearing?" 3 weeks. "Then we have 3 weeks to show them the man you still are." She pulled out her phone, cracked screen but working. "I have a friend, social worker. She helped my cousin fight a similar case back home. Different circumstances, but same principle. Prove capability." Woo Jin stared at her. "Why would you help me with this?" Lena's eyes softened. "Because I've watched you do physical therapy when you think no one's looking. I've seen you reading legal documents at 3 a.m. You're not incompetent, Woo Jin. You're grieving. There's a difference." Thunder cracked outside. The lights flickered. "The generator's in the basement," Lena said. "But the elevator's out, so unless you want to spend the night in the dark..." She held out her hand. Woo Jin looked at it. At her. At the impossibility of trusting someone again. Then he took her hand. "Let's go prove I'm not useless." The generator hummed to life, casting the basement in amber light. Lena helped Woo Jin into the old leather chair near the workbench, his father's chair covered in dust and memory. The basement hadn't been touched since the old man died. "You loved him," Lena said softly, noticing the photos on the wall. A younger Woo Jin, maybe 16, standing beside a stern-faced man in front of a restaurant. "He was a chef. Wanted me to take over the family restaurant." Woo Jin's voice was distant. "I chose a different kind of family business instead." "Do you regret it?" He was quiet for a long time. "I regret that he died ashamed of me." Lena sat on a crate close enough to matter. "Tell me about him." "Why?" "Because the court will ask about your support system, your history. Who you were before? All this." She gestured at the mansion above them. "I need to know the real you if I'm going to help." Woo Jin laughed bitterly. The real me? I'm a criminal, Lena. I've hurt people. Ordered things that would make you run screaming. I don't scare easy. You should. Try me. He studied her face, searching for judgment. Found only curiosity. My father came to Korea with nothing. Built a restaurant with his bare hands. I was supposed to honor that legacy. His fingers traced the armrest. Instead, I got involved with the wrong people. Started as protection money. Ended as everything else. By the time I realized what I'd become, it was too late. And Maylin? His jaw tightened. She was the daughter of a rival boss. Our marriage was supposed to unite the families, create peace. He laughed without humor. I actually thought she loved me. Thought I could have both, the power and the family. I was a fool. You were human. Humans don't do the things I've done. Lena leaned forward. My father was a soldier in the Civil War. He killed people, watched his friends die, did things that haunted him until his last breath. Her voice cracked. But he also taught me to read, held my hand during thunderstorms, cried when my sister died. People aren't one thing, Woo Jin. We're 1,000 contradictions. What happened to him? He took his own life when I was 15. The nightmares became too much. Tears glistened in her eyes. That's why I won't let you pull that trigger. Because I know what it's like to be left behind. The generator's hum filled the silence. Woo Jin reached out, slowly, carefully, and wiped a tear from her cheek. I'm sorry, he whispered. Me too. Outside, the storm raged. But in the basement, something fragile and precious was being born. Trust. What's one thing from your past that still shapes who you are today? Let's talk about it in the comments. The evaluation was in 12 days. Lena had transformed the study into a war room. Legal documents, rehabilitation schedules, character witness lists. She'd contacted Woo Jin's old physical therapist, who reluctantly agreed to return. Hired a media consultant who taught him how to present confidence in a wheelchair. And most importantly, she'd convinced him to leave the house. I look ridiculous, Woo Jin muttered as she adjusted his collar. They were standing, him sitting, in front of the mansion's entrance. A car waited. You look distinguished. Now stop fidgeting. Where are we going? Your father's restaurant. His head snapped up. It closed 10 years ago. It reopened 6 months ago. New owners, I called ahead. She smiled. Thought you might want a taste? Your father's recipes one more time. The restaurant was smaller than he remembered. Warmer. The new owner, an elderly woman, greeted them with tears in her eyes. You're Chef Han's son. I can see it in your face. She took his hand. He was my mentor, taught me everything. I kept his recipe book. Would you like to see it? Woo Jin couldn't speak, could only nod. Lena wheeled him to the corner table, his father's table, and the old woman brought dish after dish. Kimchi his father had perfected over 30 years. Bulgogi that tasted like childhood. Soup that smelled like forgiveness. He talked about you, the woman said softly. Even at the end, said you had fire. Said you'd find your way back. After she left, Woo Jin wept. Lena held his hand and said nothing. Sometimes silence is the greatest gift. Later in the car, Woo Jin turned to her. How did you know? Know what? That I needed this. That I needed to remember who I was before? Before you became what others needed. You to be? Lena smiled sadly. Because I did the same thing. Became invisible. Became just the help. Forgot that I was Lena. Daughter of a soldier, sister to an angel, woman with dreams. What were your dreams? To be a doctor. To save lives instead of just surviving them. She looked out the window. But life had other plans. It's not too late. She laughed. I'm 32, broke, and undocumented. It's very late. I have money, connections. I could... No. Her voice was firm but kind. I don't need saving, Wu Jin. I need partnership, equality. Someone who sees me. I see you, he said quietly. God help me, I see you more clearly than I've ever seen anyone. Lena turned to him. Their faces were inches apart. What do you see? Someone who makes me want to be better. Someone who makes me believe I can be. She kissed his forehead, gentle, reverent. Then be better. Not for the court, not for your enemies, for yourself. That night, Wu Jin didn't think about the trial. He thought about her hands, her voice, the way she made him feel human again. He thought about hope. The betrayal came from inside. Wu Jin's head of security, a man he'd trusted for 15 years, sold photos to Mei Lin's legal team. Photos of Lena helping him dress, helping him bathe. Intimate moments twisted into something ugly. Live-in mistress manipulates disabled crime boss, the tabloid screamed. The lawyer called at dawn. This changes everything. They're going to argue she has undue influence, that she's exploiting your vulnerability for money, citizenship, whatever. And Wu Jin? He paused. They have a witness who'll testify that you threatened suicide in front of her, that she has to hide your weapons. The hearing was in 3 days. Lena found out from the house manager, who thrust the newspaper into her hands with disgust. I told you to stay invisible. She ran to Wu Jin's room, found him staring at the same article on his tablet. Wu Jin, get out. Let me explain. Explain what? He hurled the tablet across the room. That you've been documenting everything, building a case? Were you working with her from the beginning? What? No, I would never. Then how did they get those photos, those details? His voice broke. I trusted you. And I've done nothing but be honest with you. Honest? You're illegal. You're desperate. How much did she offer you? Citizenship? Money? The words were knives. Lena stood very still. When she spoke, her voice was hollow. I hide your weapons because I watched my father paint the walls with his brain. I help you bathe because I understand dignity. I'm here because... She stopped, swallowed. Because I was stupid enough to think you could see past your own pain. Lena. No. You want to believe I betrayed you? Fine. It's easier than believing someone could actually love you, isn't it? The word hung in the air. Love. Wu Jin's face went white. Don't. Don't what? Tell the truth? I love you, you stubborn, broken, beautiful man. And I'm sorry that's not convenient for your self-pity. She turned to leave. If you walk out that door, don't come back. Lena paused, looked back, tears streaming down her face. You know what the saddest part is? Your wife didn't destroy you. The accident didn't destroy you. You're doing it to yourself. She pulled the bullets from her apron, the ones from his gun months ago, set them on the dresser. When you're ready to stop being a victim, you know where to find me. The door closed with a whisper. Wu Jin sat alone in the room that suddenly felt like a tomb again. He looked at the bullets, at the empty doorway, at the ruins of the only real thing he'd had in years, and realized he'd just made the biggest mistake of his life. 2 days before the hearing, Wu Jin sat in the study surrounded by lawyers. Without Miss Lena's testimony, your case is weaker, his attorney said. She was your primary caregiver, her account of your daily. Competence was crucial. Find someone else. There is no one else. The therapist saw you twice a week. The house staff barely interacted with you. She was the only one who... I said find someone else. After they left, Wu Jin wheeled himself to the window. Soul glittered below, indifferent to his suffering. His phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. Your father's recipe book, page 47, the note in the margin. Lena. His hands shook as he pulled the old recipe book from his desk drawer, the one the restaurant owner had gifted him. Page 47, Kimchi Jjigae. And there in his father's handwriting, Woo-jin, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I was hard on you. Too hard. But son, I was never ashamed. I was afraid. Afraid you'd choose power over peace. Afraid you'd forget that strength isn't in control. It's in surrender. In letting people love you. I hope you find someone who teaches you that. Love, Appa. Woo-jin's vision blurred. Surrender. He'd spent his entire life fighting against poverty, against weakness, against vulnerability. Even now in the wheelchair, he was still fighting. Still trying to control everything. Still pushing away the one person who'd chosen to stay. He grabbed his phone. Lena was packing when the knock came. Her tiny apartment was littered with half-filled boxes. She'd booked a ticket to Nigeria. If she was going to lose everything, she'd do it surrounded by family. Lena, please, open the door. She froze, Woo-jin's voice. I know you're in there. Your neighbor let me in downstairs. Very nice lady. Concerned about the sad Korean man in the expensive wheelchair. Despite everything, Lena smiled. She opened the door. Woo-jin sat in the hallway, soaked from rain. He must have fired his driver. Come alone. You're an idiot, she said. I know. You can't even get down the stairs by yourself. I know. What are you doing here? He held up an envelope. Citizenship application, expedited. My lawyers say they can push it through in 6 months if we get married. Lena's breath caught. I'm not proposing, he said quickly. Not yet. Not like this. But I'm asking you to stay, to testify. Not as my employee, not as my maid, as my partner. Woo-jin. I'm asking you to teach me how to surrender, how to let someone love me, how to be the man my father hoped I'd become. His voice cracked. I'm asking you to give me one more chance to deserve you. Lena knelt in front of him, rain and tears mixing on both their faces. Ask me tomorrow, she whispered, at the hearing, in front of everyone. Ask me to stay. Tomorrow, he promised. She kissed him. Soft, true, a beginning. The courtroom was packed. Maylin sat at the plaintiff's table, immaculate in designer white. Her lawyer shuffled papers with practiced confidence. Journalists filled the gallery, cameras ready. Woo-jin wheeled himself to the defendant's table. Alone. The judge, a stern woman in her 60s, reviewed the files. This is a competency hearing regarding the mental fitness of Mr. Han Woo-jin to manage his own affairs. Mrs. Han claims, I'd like to make a statement, Woo-jin interrupted. His lawyer blanched. Sir, we discussed... I'd like to make a statement, he repeated, louder. The judge raised an eyebrow. Proceed. Woo-jin wheeled himself forward. Every eye in the room was on him. 6 months ago, I wanted to die. Not because of the accident, not because of the wheelchair, because I believed my value was tied to what I could do. How much power I had. How much control. He looked at Mei Lin. You believe that too. That's why you left. Mei Lin's composure cracked slightly. But someone showed me different. Someone who had every reason to walk away, who had nothing to gain, chose to stay. Chose to see me. Not the boss, not the cripple. Just me. The courtroom doors opened. Lena walked in wearing a simple blue dress. She'd told him not to do this. Told him she'd testify, but nothing more. She hadn't expected this. Lena Adeyemi cleaned my house, managed my medication, forced me to eat, to live, to remember I was human. Woo-jin's voice steadied. She also has a nursing degree, speaks 4 languages, and once talked down an armed intruder using nothing but logic and a soup ladle. Scattered laughter rippled through the courtroom. I'm not asking this court to pity me. I'm asking you to judge me on who I am now, and who I'm becoming, with her. He turned to Lena. She stood frozen in the aisle. Lena Adeyemi, I'm not proposing in a courtroom because I'm romantic. I'm doing it because I need witnesses, need proof, Need everyone to know. His voice broke. I choose you. I choose healing. I choose to be someone worthy of your love. He held out a ring, simple, silver, topped with a stone the color of her eyes. Stay, not as my nurse, not as my employee, as my partner, as my wife, as the person who saved my life by refusing to let me waste it. The courtroom held its breath. Lena walked forward, knelt beside his wheelchair. You're still an idiot, she whispered. I know. This is the worst proposal I've ever heard. I'll do better next time. She kissed him. The courtroom erupted in applause. The judge banged her gavel, smiling despite herself. I believe we can table the competency question. Court dismissed. Mei Lin stood, furious and defeated, but Wu Jin didn't watch her leave. He was too busy looking at his future. This story reminds us that love isn't found. It's built, one choice at a time. What's one small choice you can make today to show someone they matter? Drop it in the comments and let's inspire each other. If this story touched your heart, smash that like button, subscribe for more emotional journeys, and share this with someone who needs to remember. Your past doesn't define your future. Love always finds a way.